Hello and welcome to Witchy Woman Podcast. I am your host, Danae Sweet, and this is Season 5, Episode 1. In this episode of Witchy Woman Podcast, I'm going to share with you what's going on with the podcast. Also going to have a class here on the Book of Shadows grimoires. Going to share a Book of Shadows blessing with you, as well as learn how to hone in on what your practice needs to look like for you. We're going to talk about what your perfect practice looks like and how to fit that into your lives. I'm going to share with you a few exercises and a visualization to help you narrow down a realistic view of what your witchcraft practice looks like and can be just for you. Hey witches, I'm back. I know it's going to sound like Groundhog Day, but I'm back. Between our current shit show in this country, some personal things, and a continuous bombardment of construction noises and stress from that at our house, it's just been a very chaotic year. It's been a chaotic 2 years, to be honest. I've had some pretty great, and I'm saying that sarcastically, curveballs thrown at me this year, and I decided that if I keep waiting for things to settle down to publish episodes, I'll be waiting for freaking ever. So I've written a season of episodes, and I'll be doing every other Wednesday as my publishing schedule, and this one airs on the 8th of October. I want to go back to OG Witchy Woman Podcast. I want to do more personal things, to share more of my actual life and what's going on, both muggle and witchy stuff. I've got interviews with some really cool people as well that are going to be sprinkled throughout the season. I was trying to figure out what you guys want to hear. What content do you want to listen to? What is valuable to you? And I want to give you all the information and entertainment so that you can learn a bit, but also escape from the horrors that are our reality at the moment. So what I've come up with is that I'd like to do some episodes based on my courses. I'll give you the information for free here because this is one way that I can give back and help empower witches in a time where we really need to feel empowered. I've seen a few other creators give away their info as well and offer it to purchase at the same time, and I'd like to follow their lead. So for those that can afford it, I love the support. So you can go to my website, you can buy the course, or for those that can't, I'll be doing episodes that follow the course. So some of it is going to be kind of hard to teach without graphics and pictures and stuff, but I'm going to figure that out along the way. I have the course set up on my site if you want to purchase it and then listen to the episodes that correspond with each lesson. So you can listen along as you scroll through the content on the course. So let's catch you guys up. So it's been a minute, right? I'll be completely transparent here. My mental health went to absolute shit. The last, 18 months to 2 years. It's just been really rough. I've going through, this is probably TMI for a lot of you, but going through perimenopause is fucking rough. If there are any other, perimenopause or menopausal witches out there, I feel your pain. So that's been really rough. I finally found an amazing therapist that, not that the other ones weren't great therapists, but I finally found the correct fit for me. And that has been a literal lifesaver for me. I realized that it's a privilege, and I recognize my privilege that I can get therapy, because in the US, at least from my own lived experience, unless you have insurance that'll pay for it, it's too expensive. So I am very thankful that I am in a position where my insurance is actually paying for some of it. I don't know as if that's going to be the truth or the reality next year. I have no idea. But while I have it, I'm going to use it as much as possible. Our house got hit by a tornado last June. And at the same time that the tornado was happening, we were making plans to add on to this house. This is not my house. It's the ranch's house. My husband and his family have like a ranch, and so this is on their property, and it's kind of up to them, so I don't have much control over it, which has really sucked. But because we live in a very small house, we moved from town to this house hoping to help cut down our personal expenses, to help become a little more financially stable. And moving here, while it's been a great financial move, we have approximately like a little less than 500 square feet to live in. And with 3 cats, 2 dogs, and 2 full-ass adult humans and no storage options in this house, it's been kind of a nightmare for the last 3 years. So the addition was like, we were pretty excited about it, but we have had nothing but horrible luck with contractors, with just everything kind of that could go wrong has. But we're finally on the end of it. I really was hoping to be able to make these episodes in my brand new witch room, with my podcast setup and all that. But instead, I'm doing it on the kitchen table that is in what we use as our living room, because the kitchen's too small for an actual kitchen table, and there's construction noises in the background. So I will try to take out as many noises as I can, and when I get done with all this, but I cannot promise that you won't hear like the occasional nail gun or saw sound or whatever. Maybe even the dude that's doing the drywall across the wall from me here, he sings sometimes, so you might hear that. So just to be upfront, I will try my best to edit crap out, but you may hear weird shit. My witchy practice looks a lot different than it did when we were at our own home in town, because I don't have a space anymore to like set up my altars. I have very small little altars. I've had to kind of take my practice and fit it to the life and the physical spaces that I have access to at this point. So a lot of it is done outside, which has kind of been a cool thing, where I did do witchcraft outside at the house in town, but here I'm kind of forced to. So I have been connecting a little bit more with like the elements and becoming more comfortable, I guess, calling on different elements and connecting with them to do my witchcraft practices. A lot of it that I used to do, I don't do anymore, because I don't have a space that I feel comfortable like meditating outside in. Like I used to have, like, I don't know if you guys remember, my husband, he built me like this little, like, I called it my meditation castle, but it was like privacy fence that we bought off of like Marketplace, and he made it into like a little square like privacy spot for me that I could go meditate outside and no one could see me. I felt safe. If I wanted to be naked in it, I totally could. And here, we have family that lives across the road here. We are out in the country, but there's plenty of people that come and go. So I don't really have that space where I can go outside and not feel like everybody that drives by judging me. Like, what is that bitch doing in the yard? Like laying down. I just feel weird. So I don't do that so much anymore. It's more inside, which really sucks. But there's plenty of other shit that I can catch you guys up on, but I will totally do that another day. But let's just dive into the class stuff, because I know that's what you guys want to hear. Anyway, you want to hear, you want to learn. You're here to learn. You're here to expand your craft, and we learn from each other. So let's just get into that. So our first class will be about the Book of Shadows, or a grimoire. From the beginnings of wise people crafting their lives with magic, there's been a need to record processes, spells, experiences. These early books were more like journals, recipe books, that midwives, herbalists, and other wise members of their societies kept and passed on to their family or their successors. But mostly, this information was passed down through oral tradition and stories. And this was for a few different reasons. One being that pen and paper, let alone the skill of reading and writing, was just not accessible for most of the population of these communities. Another was for fear that someone would turn them in for witchcraft to the church. Witchcraft in the church's eyes could have been herbal recipes for a cough or instructions for carrying out a breech birth or just any other mundane, like alternative medicine information, which really sucks. Like, thinking about that kind of pisses me off. But anyway, you're going to hear the words grimoire used interchangeably with Book of Shadows a lot on social media, especially depending on the tradition or the preference to either word. You're going to see arguments, not arguments. Jeez. You're going to see arguments on which term is right. Just use whatever feels right to you. The term Book of Shadows wasn't even used before the 1940s and came from Gerald Gardner, a prominent leader of Wicca and neo-paganism movements. A Book of Shadows, by Gardner's definition and use, has within its pages specific spells written by the author, some rituals, magical tradition information specific to a particular path, and personal notes regarding spells and rituals performed. This is just kind of like a journal that is just not seen by anybody else. In present days, the term Book of Shadows is used to describe a witch's book filled with spells, rituals, and sometimes witchcraft information like correspondences and herbal knowledge. The term grimoire has a similar meaning and use, but often not as personal. So the grimoire can hold general information about witchcraft that the practitioner has gained from reading books or taking classes. So it's kind of like a study guide for your practice to be used as like a reference book. You'll also find some people define grimoire as more of a journal rather than a reference book. So again, this term can be used to describe what some call a Book of Shadows, and it's up to each witch to decide which they prefer to call their book. There are some witches that even give theirs a magical name. So you do what feels right to you. So I'll share kind of what mine is to me. So I call it a Book of Shadows, but it's, call it whatever you want. But my book is like this. I used to have a 3-ring binder, and I've been migrating it to a different book, because I have ADHD and it's a new craft project. So anywho, but my Book of Shadows is personal. So instead of having like correspondences for holidays or crystal meanings or uses or whatever, things like that in there, or just spells, I have got things that mean a lot to me. So I have the way I do close or open a circle in there, which is different from some of the things that I'll see. So I have that in there, and I have notes on why I do it this way. I have spells that I wrote, and then I put in the notes, like the notes afterwards. I write about how the spell went. Like, this is when I did it. This is how it felt. I particularly loved using this thing in that spell, and it felt better than using something else, whatever. I will also update. So I leave a little space for updates. Like if it's a spell that was going to be like a 1-week spell, like the time period of it needing to work, I aimed for 1 week. Then I will come back in a week and journal about what I think, if it fell flat, if it landed, all of those things. So it's more of a journal so that when I am gone, I can pass this down to my daughter, who is also a practicing witch, and she can have basically my practice and my personal notes and learn from me in that way, rather than just a reference book where it's just dry material, just this belongs here and this is what this herb does. We have plenty of books. I have so many reference books that I've bought. I don't need to put those in my Book of Shadows. It's the personal things that need to be in there. I have like how I write a spell. Like I have my template in there, how I write spells, why I do it this way, things like that, because those are the things that I can look back on and go, do I want to keep doing it this way or do I want to change it? And then later in the book, I might put like, hey, I've changed how I write spells now and execute them. This is how I have changed and this is why. And I feel like that helps me keep it helps keep my practice evolving, and it also keeps a record of it. So I can look back and go, I wonder why I changed, cause sometimes we forget about things. Like, why the hell do I do that now this way? I can look back at my Book of Shadows and go, oh, that's right. I learned about this or that, and that's why I changed it. So those are kind of the things, I guess, in my book that I put in it. But again, you do you. So some of the different ways that you can create one, I've seen witches use 3-ring binders, which I totally have done. This allows you to rearrange and add pages whenever you want. You don't have to worry about putting anything in order, because as you write it, you can just put new pages wherever you want. You just need a hole punch and those transparent sheet protectors. Alternatively, some individuals prefer a bullet journal, decorating it with scrapbooking materials and stuff to make it look more aesthetically pleasing to you. There are witches who prefer digital Book of Shadows and keep their book as one document on the cloud, so they'll never lose it. It doesn't matter what form you decide to choose, as long as you feel good about it and that you can connect with your book. Over the course of time, this book will undergo lots of changes, and it's going to absorb energy and become one of your greatest tools in your witchcraft practice. I like rituals and making things a bit more dramatic than necessary, so I prefer to do a Book of Shadows blessing when I start a new one. I'm going to share the one I wrote for the course. All right, so if you want to write this down, get your pen and paper out. I am going to tell you what are the things that you'll need for this. So you'll need a representation of each of the elements: air, water, earth, fire. So here's some examples. Air, incense or maybe a feather. Water, a bowl of water, or maybe just a chalice. Earth, a bowl of soil, a plant, maybe a crystal. Fire, a candle. I need a fire. For fire, if you can't have a real candle, if for some reason you can't have a lit candle, that's fine. Use a battery powered one. It's put some sigils on it that represent fire, or find a crystal that represents fire for you. Place all these items on a level surface in a sacred space and light the candle. And if you're using incense, light that as well. This could be at your altar, a space in your office, outdoors, whatever feels comfortable for you. Take a moment, center yourself. Perhaps meditate or play some soothing music to relax and get in the mood. And as you recite this blessing, pass your Book of Shadows over each of the elements as they are spoken. I gotta say it, because someone will do it. Be careful when you when you pass your book over the candle. Do not burn your new book. If it's a digital one, put your device in the place you'd put a book. Okay, so here is the actual blessing. And I'm going to put this in the show notes so that you can copy and paste this or copy it or whatever. But here it goes. Blessed is this book, by earth so grounded. In its sturdy embrace, secrets are hounded. Fire's passionate flare protect and inspire, guarding the pages with a blazing fire. Water's gentle flow, a mystical tide. Within these words, let secrets abide. Air whispers soft, in pages take flight, shielding the knowledge with gentle might. Elements four, weave your magic so rare. In this blessed book, your blessings declare. Earth, fire, water, and air conspire. Guard this book with the elements' sacred spire. You're going to end this by placing your hands on the book or your device and exchanging energy and feeling the sacred energy that you've created in this book. You can thank the elements for being there and say something like, mote it be, and so it is, or whatever you feel comfortable with. Now place your Book of Shadows or grimoire in a place where it won't be disturbed and is appropriate for a sacred book. Make sure you go drink and eat something afterwards to help ground yourself, because this was a ritual. Sometimes we need a little help grounding, and making sure you have a snack afterwards or going outside and putting your feet in the dirt or the grass is a great thing to do. I hope that even if you're a seasoned witch and you already have a Book of Shadows, that you got some bit of knowledge and creative inspiration from the lesson on the Book of Shadows. I have ADHD, so I've got multiple Book of Shadows. Multiple books of shadow? Is that how you say it? If it's multiple, plural? Anyway, it's okay. I have some that I started and I didn't like the vibe. Some I ran out of pages. And the one I'm working on right now is more like a scrapbook feel to it. And I really enjoy the freedom to change things and being able to express myself creatively in the pages. So I'm really, really liking that. The next thing I want to share with you is kind of how to decide what you want your practice to look like. And I want to preface this by saying you can change your practice at any time, at any point in your journey. I have so many versions of what my practice looks like that it's not the same. Like who I was last year is not the same as who I am this year. Shit changes. So does my practice. So we're going to do some things to kind of pinpoint to I'm going to ask the questions and have you do a couple things that are going to get you to think about what your practice, what your perfect practice, your ideal thing, what fits into your life, what do you want out of your practice, those kinds of things. We're going to get those out of you through a visualization exercise. And for those of you that cannot picture things in your head, that's fine. We can go ahead and just write those things down. It's fine. Visualizing is just an extra thing you can do if you want to or if you're able to. So with this exercise, I'm going to blend spirituality and witchcraft by peering into your own wants and needs surrounding a witchcraft practice that you can call your own. Meditating, practicing mindfulness, honoring a deity or not, celebrating the seasons or honoring those seasons as Sabbats are all practices that are outside the term witchcraft and lend themselves more to spirituality. This course is something that I designed to weave both things. So if some of this stuff does not resonate with you, then don't take it with you. Don't write it down. Just skip it. So this is what we're going to do. In a notebook, you're going to write down a paragraph or two detailing what your ideal witchcraft and spiritual practice would be for you. You can put this in your book of shadows, or if you'd like to keep it separate, that's fine. I have a witchy journal that I write in that I often write stuff like this in. So ask yourselves about the length of daily practices. And now this would blend with the ebb and flow of your mundane life. So peering into this creative lens, imagine yourself performing rituals. Are they solitary? Are you surrounded by other witches? Do you celebrate the seasons? The Sabbats? Is there a mindfulness or gratitude practice that weaves its way into your magic? What does it look like to wake up a witch and start your day? Those are some questions to write down and then answer them. Try to visualize it as you write it all down. So I like to start this exercise by visualizing. What does it look like to wake up a witch and start your day? Visualizing it is a great motivator as well as a way to figure out what's important to you now. Your practice is going to change as your life changes, so just know that this is a start. So when you wake up, do you meditate before you get out of bed? Do you do any gratitude rituals? Do you make coffee or tea with any kind of intention? Do you honor your ancestors first thing in the morning? What does your morning routine look like? And keep it real. Make sure that you're not going, okay, I want to do all of the things, but you don't have time for all the things because we have jobs and, other people may be living in the house. Maybe you have kids or pets and you got to do all that stuff first. So make sure you're being realistic when you are thinking about this, because if we're not realistic about what we've got going on in our mundane lives and how our practice fits into it, then you're going to get frustrated with your practice right off the bat, and we don't want that. So there's also a meditation that goes along with this, and it helps you visualize your practice. It helps create like a little sacred space in the ether, basically. But I'm not going to put that here. It's going to be on my Coven page on my website. You can access that and all kinds of other meditations, spells, podcast bonus stuff there too. And instead of doing a Coven on Facebook like I've did in the past, I'm doing it on my own website. I have more control over it. I don't have to worry about Zuckerberg. So I created a whole ass coven site within my main website so that everything's going to be housed there. So if you want to have access to that stuff, then go click on the Coven tab on my website, and it'll take you there. Anywho, it's a monthly subscription, just like it was on Patreon, and it's minimal, but it helps me cover the costs of the podcast. It's not free for me to host it, to publish it. I host it, or good God, I can't make words. But my podcast is released through Podbean, and Podbean, it's a monthly subscription. So I don't know why I'm trying to justify a subscription, but I am, because I hate promoting my own shit. I should probably do a better job of that part of all of this. But I'm gonna do I've got video spell tutorials, meditations, a book of shadows on there that has like spells and all kinds of crap in there. I'm gonna do card pull videos and post them there, so like a weekly and a monthly card pull for the group there. Podcast interviews, like the video will be there. And I'm going to keep adding things as time goes by, but that's what I've got going right now on there. I'm also working on Discord, and I've got a Discord set up so that we can chat, we can share things, and connect as well through there. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed that, or at least got some kind of information that's valuable to you. The schedule, again, is going to be every other Wednesday, and one episode is going to be like a witchy class like this one, and the other one will be something else. I've got interviews and informational stuff. I've got some really fun things that I recorded that I'm excited for you guys to listen to and get feedback, and I cannot wait to connect to this community again. This is something that I have missed so freaking much. I mean, as longtime listeners know that I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. I live in very, very conservative western Nebraska, and I live in a town where 15 of us voted blue, and everyone else voted red. So I am very lonely here. I have very few friends that I can talk to, and they're not from this town. So the podcast was always a way, like the byproduct of that for me was community. I miss my community. I miss you guys, and I cannot wait to start talking to you guys and interacting and all of that jazz. I am on Instagram and Facebook. I'll be honest, I hate Facebook and I don't like Instagram. But these are our choices now, because I'm going to be migrating off of TikTok. I haven't been active there in quite a while anyway. And it's getting sold to, I don't know, some billionaire that's probably bad, and I don't want to deal with it. So if anybody has any suggestions on where we're supposed to go after that. Oh, I'm also on Blue Sky. I'm trying that out. So anyway, I hope that you guys are all doing well, and that you are managing existing as a witch in the time that we are in right now. It's so freaking bizarre what's happening. So anyway, I don't know if they listen to this or not, but I have a friend, Kim, from Your Average Witch podcast. I want to thank them so very much for being an inspiration and kind of like pushing me along a little bit. Be like, are you doing the podcast? Are you doing this? And kind of getting me back into remembering that I really, really fucking enjoy podcasting. So thank you. And everybody else, stay witchy. Bye-bye.